That's entertainment. You know, when you're a great fighter, a great entertainer in general, you want the person to say, when do I see that person again? When is he going to play again? When is he going to fight again? You know, you got to be able, if you can't put in seats, you're going to get fired. You know.
Heavy fight. And I have Crawford winning this fight. Crawford's going to win this fight doing something that nobody's done to Canelo.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say. And it didn't take me going to camp to know this.
Okay.
Weight gain. So Israel Majimov says that if Terence Crawford bulks up, that's going to be the biggest mistake he can possibly make. And that's going to hinder him from being victorious against Saul Canelo Alvarez.
Crawford, highlighting the importance of staying calm before such a huge fight against Canelo. He explained that a fighter always faces intense pressure on this kind of stage, but the real battle is psychological. According to Tyson, if Terence can control his mind and avoid being overwhelmed, then he can perform at his best and make winning look much easier.
You know, fighters, pressure, right? Pressure's not being hit. You know, everybody thinks pressure's like, get on, stand on. Pressure's the thought of being hit. And that's how they fall. The thought is going, I'm not hitting that hard, but they think I am.
Right. So
it's all psychological.
Are you, when you're walking to the ring, are you noticing anything, or are you so locked in?
I see everything moving. Every person, every girl. I see every.
Dude, your walk-ins would last longer than the fights sometimes.
Do anyone have a napkin on my towels? Because I'm sweating like a pimp with one hole up here.
You're sweating.
We will get you one.
You're sweating.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're sweating like Charles Barkley at a spelling bee.
Yeah, I'm going to be sweating pretty hard there, too.
Exactly. So, Mike, we all know you hit hard. Who was the first person that when they hit you, you was like, oh, okay, this guy hits pretty hard?
Canelo Alvarez acknowledges the sheer magnitude of a potential clash between Canelo and Terence Crawford. Khan believes Canelo is a great fighter with unmatched experience, but he also points out that Crawford possesses real punching power. With Crawford gaining weight and adapting to the division, Khan sees him as a stronger fighter than ever before. He suggests that this is not a one-sided contest because both Canelo and Crawford bring incredible skill sets. For Khan, the bout represents more than just another fight. It is the meeting of two extraordinary talents, each capable of shifting the outcome with a single move. He admires Canelo's proven dominance at higher weights, but cautions that Crawford's ability to adjust, adapt, and rise to new challenges makes this showdown hard to predict.
He did that to Canelo after, so to your point, can Crawford do the same? Coming up from 54 and 47, can he, or will that, throw off the catch and shoot? I was going to catch and shoot.
Make me think.
We're not catching and shooting.
We're catching and resetting and getting out of this range for a minute or two.
My fight with Arrow, I came back to the corner. I had a look on my face, I guess. And my dad said, "What's wrong?" I said, "Nothing." Like, classic Sean, nothing. He said, "Sean, tell me what's wrong." I said, my legs are kind of tight. He said, "Your legs kind of tight." He looked back, looked behind him. He would always do this and look back at the other corner. I don't know why. He looked back at them.
It's a habit problem.
He said, "All right, we're not gonna use our legs so much this round." And I was thinking to myself, like, I need these legs.
I'm not trying to wear these shots.
Yeah. So to your point, when there's a feeling,
when the nervous system goes out,
where does that adjustment take place? Do you trust the adjustment? Do you implement it? So that next round I did settle down a little more. I was
lost around.
Whatever.
I ain't know around here. Chill out.
You don't even know around here. Pour this water on you. So we got some time until this fight. So we ain't gotta pour it all out at one time. We'll work our way up to this one.
Try to get on big guests to lead up to the fight.
Expect some more very, very big guests, and expect some very, very big things from the Puerto Rico podcast the week of Crawford versus Crawford versus Canelo versus Crawford takes place here. What is that? September 6th?
13th. I was just gonna say, I've been critical of the fight because I felt like it serves as a foreground to the Ali Act stuff.
Analysts have been quick to underline the concerns surrounding Crawford's age and experience at higher weight classes. At 38 years old, by the time this fight potentially materializes, Crawford faces the natural decline that comes with age. While he did step up to 154 pounds to fight Israel Madrimov, that single bout has not convinced all observers that he is ready to stand toe-to-toe with someone as seasoned at higher divisions as Canelo. Age is more than just a number in boxing. It influences speed, reflexes, and recovery, which are critical when facing a relentless opponent. Analysts argue that while Crawford's skills remain razor-sharp, his body may not respond with the same intensity it once did. They frame this fight as the biggest test of his career, not just technically, but physically and mentally, given the stakes and the opponent he faces.
He is successful September 13th, Las Vegas, Nevada, Allegiant Stadium, when he takes on another first ballot Hall of Famer, 4-division world champion, 2-time undisputed world champion, and reigning undisputed super middleweight world champion, Mexican superstar boxer Saul Canelo Alvarez, who is 63 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 wins by way of knockout. Terence Crawford had one fight at 154. That was against Israel Madrimov, the WBA junior middleweight world champion, right? And since then, Terence Crawford has moved up now to 168 to challenge Canelo Alvarez, okay? And so prior to that, he spent 5 years at what? Welterweight. So the concern that people have for Terence Crawford, rightfully so, is that Terence Crawford will be 38 years of age 2 weeks after the fight. So he's 37, okay? Terence Crawford has one fight at 154. Prior to that, Terence Crawford has been competing, okay, since 2018 for the last 7 years at 147. Since June of 2018, he's been fighting at 147. His only fight outside of that division in the last 5 to 6 years was his fight against Israel Madrimov at 154, which he won, unanimous decision. I thought he handily won, but people thought that he struggled. Israel Madrimov is now 10 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 7 wins by way of knockout because he lost his last fight to Mexican superstar, WBC junior middleweight interim champion Virgil Ortiz Jr.
Crawford and his training team have consistently emphasized their preparation. They note that their focus is on avoiding the mistakes made by Jermell Charlo, who lost convincingly to Canelo. Crawford insists he is not Charlo, and that his style, discipline, and ring IQ set him apart. His team has been developing strategies that rely on movement, precision, and smart pacing. The approach highlights their awareness that brute strength alone won't defeat Canelo. Instead, they aim to frustrate him with defense and capitalize on counters. The training camp has been intense, involving rigorous conditioning and sparring sessions designed to mimic Canelo's power and pressure.
Team Crawford just revealed that they're currently working on making sure that the Omaha native doesn't end up like Jermell Charlo this coming September 13th when he faces Canelo Alvarez. Now this report comes from Boxing Scene, wherein it was just revealed by somebody from Crawford's camp that Terence Crawford is, quote, wary of repeating the mistake that former 154-pound champion Jermell Charlo made to a new weight limit without consideration of other factors. Boxing Scene further elaborated by saying that Crawford wants to retain his ability to fight with fluidity, maximizing the effectiveness of his power punches from both hands and ability to fight from a southpaw stance. With that said, Crawford's camp is now on full lockdown from the media or any sort of distraction up until fight week. Now, it's definitely worth considering that while it's technically